Managing and motivating employees. Hello, and welcome to the Managing and Motivating Employees session. The people who work at your business have a big impact on your ability to be successful. Employee issues and management problems can reduce your profitability, but good employees and great management practices can help create customer loyalty, higher sales, and more money for your business. In this session, we'll discuss how employees impact your business, how to help your employees be successful, the basics of managing and motivating your staff, how to handle difficult situations, and how to use employee feedback to continuously improve your business. You will learn the steps to create a thorough and successful onboarding process for new hires, along with guidance for creating an employee handbook. Here's what you can expect in this session. We'll start with the foundation, understanding employees and the workplace, where we'll explore how employees impact your bottom line, workplace culture, the employee life cycle and experience, your business, your employees, and your community. Then we'll move into setting employees up for success, covering creating an employee handbook, creating expectations and SMART goals, onboarding and training, and legally required accommodations and safety. Next, we'll dive into some managing basics, followed by a look at why employees don't do what they're supposed to do. We'll also talk about giving feedback, both positive and constructive, and explore how to handle difficult situations and performance issues. To wrap things up, we'll discuss keeping employees engaged and motivated, and finish with a quick rundown of the top 10 do's and don'ts. Now that you know what's ahead, let's get started. The foundation, understanding employees and the workplace. How employees impact your bottom line. Employees have a direct impact on your bottom line. The term satisfaction mirror explains this concept. When your employees experience satisfaction in their job, they have a positive effect on customers and the customer experience. When the customers are more satisfied, the employees are more satisfied, and the loop continues. In short, happy employees help your business thrive. Workplace culture. One of the things with the biggest impact on your employees is your workplace culture. The culture of your business refers to the overall feeling of your business and what it's like to work there. One way to start to define your workplace culture is to think about your core values. What are 5 to 7 values or priorities in your business? Some of these concepts may apply to most businesses, like quality service, customer satisfaction, and honesty. As you keep thinking about it, though, you'll find words that describe your approach. Is it fast-paced or relaxed? Is it competitive or collaborative? Do you prioritize speed or accuracy? If you need some ideas to get started, here are a list of core values. We won't read them all now, but some examples include commitment, fairness, honesty, teamwork, and quality. You can find a full list in this session on the MOBI website. As you review the list, ask yourself, which of these would you use to describe your business? And are there others you'd like to include? Identifying your values will help you determine how you interact with your employees and what kind of leader you want to be. It will also help you clarify how you want your business to function. Being consistent with your culture shows employees what to expect and how to do well at work. Employee life cycle and experience. The employee life cycle refers to different stages of the employee experience. The employer's goal is to bring in great people who are the right fit. Make sure they have the knowledge and training to be successful and retain them to help the business thrive. Let's walk through the stages of a typical employee life cycle. Hiring, onboard, develop and grow, retain, exit. First, they're hired. Building a team of good employees starts with finding the right fit. See the hiring and firing sessions for a step-by-step guide to identifying and hiring the right people. Once you get good people in the door, you'll want to set them up for success. Continuing to provide opportunities for development and growth can increase employee retention. Retaining great employees is one of the best ways to help your business run smoothly. Another key consideration is how your business approaches including and reflecting your community. Building a team that's inclusive and representative of your community and customers can help you make your business stronger and help you better serve your target audience. In other words, there are business advantages to making sure your staff is similar to your customer base. Now let's talk about our next topic, setting up employees for success. Let's begin with creating an employee handbook. Imagine you're a new employee at a business. Some of your first questions will likely be, what do I do? How do I do it? To address these questions and many others, you'll want to have an employee handbook. You can think of this document as the main source for all questions about employment, ranging from time off and dress code to safety guidelines and compensation schedules. While some can be very long and full of policies, you can also start very simple just by listing what an employee can expect while they work for you. In a moment, we'll talk through a high-level list of things to include in your employee handbook. You can also download a free template on our website to help you get started. Scan the QR code on your screen for a link to the MOBI Resource Documents page on the Resources and Tools section of our website. Here are some basics to include in your employee handbook. Welcome message, a short note about the business and its values. Job expectations, what employees need to do and how to do it well. Work hours and attendance, when to work, breaks, and what to do if you're running late. Where and how to work, whether working from home is allowed and what rules apply. Pay and benefits, how and when employees get paid plus any perks. Time off and holidays, rules for sick days, vacations, and holidays. Workplace rules, basic do's and don'ts to keep things running smoothly. Dress code, what employees should wear at work. Respect and behavior, treating everyone fairly and being professional. Safety and emergencies, how to stay safe and what to do in an emergency. Using work equipment, how to handle tools, computers, or other property of the business. Social media and internet use. Rules for online activity at work. Problem solving, how to handle conflict or concerns. Leaving the job, what happens when an employee quits or is let go. Next, let's discuss clear expectations and SMART goals. To encourage success, you'll need to clearly explain what is expected of each employee. Having clear expectations at the beginning helps the employee understand the specifics of their job so they can be successful. It also helps you know how to measure their success. Many managers use SMART goals to set clear expectations with employees. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, related to your business goals, and time-bound. Those goals are often thought of as key performance indicators or KPIs, or success metrics that provide information about an employee's job performance. There are numerous ways to set goals for your employees. What are 3 to 5 things that your employees need to do to be successful? How will you know if they're accomplishing these goals? For example, if you're a lawn care business, you might have a SMART goal that employees should cut 5 lawns per day. If employees cut 5 lawns in all 5 days of their schedule, the KPIs would be 100%. If your employee cuts 5 lawns 4 out of 5 days, their KPIs would be 80%. For a bakery, you could have a SMART goal that employees come to work on time and stick to their designated break times. You could similarly measure their performance in meeting this goal. Our next success topic is onboarding and training. Onboarding is the process of bringing a new employee into your business and making sure they have all the information, skills, and tools to be successful. Often an employee will be assigned a buddy or a mentor to help them learn the job. In many small businesses, that's often the owner. Be thorough when you are designing your onboarding process. Carefully consider all the training a new worker might need. Remember, employees can't read your mind and don't have your background or experience. In addition, you'll want to build an onboarding checklist that helps both you and the employee understand what's needed to be successful at the job. Let's look at a sample onboarding checklist. Before your employee's first day, you'll want to send a welcome email with a start date, time, and what to bring. Prepare the workspace, desk, computer, tools, etc. Set up email, software, and accounts. Assign a mentor or point of contact. On their first day, you should give a warm welcome and an office tour. Introduce team members. Review the employee handbook and policies. Go over job expectations and daily tasks. Set up payroll benefits and any other paperwork, and explain who their supervisor is. During the employee's first week, you'll want to provide basic training on tools, software, and equipment, arrange for the employee to shadow an experienced employee if needed, check in regularly to answer questions, set short-term goals and expectations. During the employee's first month, key onboarding activities might include providing feedback on performance and progress, asking for feedback on their experience with the onboarding process, offering additional training or review if needed, and helping the employee feel part of the team. You may have additional items specific to your business that you want to include in your onboarding process. Legally required accommodations and safety. It's important to familiarize yourself with the American with Disabilities Act, or ADA, to make sure that you can make reasonable accommodations for any employees with disabilities. Are there any accommodations you would like to offer your employees? Some examples include flexible work hours, telecommuting, accessible workplace, and assistive technologies, just to name a few. It's also your responsibility to ensure that you are providing a safe work environment in compliance with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA guidance. Now let's talk about managing basics. Our first topic here is leadership. How to manage employees effectively. Good management helps employees feel valued, motivated, and productive. It's important to set clear expectations about job duties and performance. Treat everyone fairly and with respect. Give employees the tools, training, and support they need. Check in regularly to offer guidance and feedback. Lead by example. Your behavior sets the tone for the workplace. Different leadership styles affect how employees work and feel. The right approach depends on the situation and team. Here are the 4 most common types of leadership. Authoritarian, or top-down. The leader makes all the decisions and expects employees to follow orders. This style can work in emergencies, but may lower motivation over time. Coaching. This style focuses on helping employees learn and improve. These leaders encourage questions and skill building. Servant leadership. This leader puts employees first, removing obstacles and supporting their growth. This can create a positive and motivated work environment. And lastly, democratic or collaborative. This style involves employees in decision-making, which helps them feel valued and engaged. A mix of these styles is often best, depending on the needs of the business and your employees. To learn more about how to lead, visit MOBI's Small Business Leadership session. Next, let's discuss regular check-ins and performance conversations. Frequent conversations help employees stay on track and feel supported. They don't have to be formal, just a quick chat can be enough. Here are some questions to ask. How's your work going? Do you have any challenges or roadblocks? What support do you need to do your best? What ideas do you have for improving our work? Being available and approachable helps employees feel comfortable coming to you with concerns. Next, we'll talk about power dynamics and personal favors. As a manager, it's important to avoid favoritism or expecting employees to do personal favors like running errands. This can create tension and unfairness in the workplace. In addition, you're in a position of power over your employees. You determine their schedules, their compensation, and other important things related to their life at work. When you ask an employee for a favor, it's an unfair dynamic because they aren't in a position to say no. Treat all employees with respect and focus on professional relationships. An important part of management basics is communication. Here we'll discuss communication strategies. Communication makes a workplace run smoothly. Here are some key strategies. Be clear and direct. Avoid vague instructions. Explain exactly what needs to be done. Listen actively. Pay attention to employees' concerns and ideas. Ask questions. Make sure employees understand expectations. Encourage open discussion. Let employees share thoughts without fear of judgment. Ask for suggestions. Your employees can have great insight on your business and ideas to improve. Ask them for suggestions and provide ways for them to be a part of your business's success. A workplace where employees feel heard and valued leads to better teamwork and productivity. Our next management topic is psychological safety. Employees should feel comfortable speaking up, asking for help, or admitting mistakes without fear of being embarrassed or punished. To build this type of work environment, respond to mistakes with patience and problem solving, not anger. Encourage employees to share ideas and opinions. Support learning and improvement rather than blame. When employees feel safe, they're more engaged and willing to take initiative. Now let's talk about applying treatment fairly and consistently. Rules and policies should be applied equally to all employees. Inconsistent treatment can cause frustration and hurt morale. Avoid giving one person special treatment. If exceptions must be made, explain why. Be transparent about expectations and consequences. Fairness builds trust and loyalty among employees. Our next topic is team dynamics and collaboration. A small team works best when everyone understands their role and how they contribute. Encourage teamwork by assigning clear responsibilities, encouraging employees to help each other, creating a positive and supportive environment. Even in a small business, teamwork is key to success. Now let's look at managing teamwork. Sometimes employees need to work across different tasks or departments. Working across different departments or functional groups such as marketing, finance, production, etc., is often referred to as cross-functional collaboration. Issues with cross-functional teamwork can arise because each department or functional group may have its own objectives in addition to the business's overall goals. This can sometimes cause confusion. Tips for managing teamwork across the business include making sure roles and expectations are clear, setting deadlines and checking in regularly, encouraging open communication to avoid confusion, identifying priorities among different goals or objectives. A well-organized team works more efficiently and avoids unnecessary stress. Our final managing basics topic is change management. Change is difficult for everyone. When making changes, help your team understand and prepare for the change. If possible, try to get buy-in and input along the way so your team is part of the process. When you're ready to implement the changes, explain the reason for the change, give employees time to adjust, listen to concerns and answer questions, and provide training if needed. Helping employees understand and accept change makes transition smoother. Now, let's talk about why employees don't do what they're supposed to do. Even good employees can struggle with performance. Let's discuss some common reasons why. Employees may be unsure of what to do or how to do it. If instructions aren't clear, employees may not know exactly what's expected. To avoid this problem, give detailed instructions when assigning tasks, check that employees understand, and provide examples if needed. Employees may be missing tools, materials, or resources. Employees can't work well if they don't have what they need. Make sure supplies and equipment are available, fix broken tools quickly, keep software and technology up to date, ask if there's anything they need to do their job. There may be difficult working conditions. Sometimes the work environment can disrupt your employees' work. These could be things like distractions, including noise, interruptions, or overcrowded workspaces. Uncomfortable conditions like a work area that's too hot, too cold, or has poor lighting. Fixing these issues helps employees stay focused. There may be unclear priorities. Employees may struggle if they don't know what to focus on first. For example, should they answer the phone or help a customer in person? Rank the tasks by importance. Set clear expectations for handling multiple tasks. Employees may lack motivation. Employees work harder when they feel appreciated and connected to their work. Motivation can drop when they don't see how their work helps the business, feel unappreciated or overlooked, are bored or unchallenged, or have outside factors in their personal life impacting their work. Helpful tips include boosting motivation by recognizing hard work, offering growth opportunities, and creating a positive work environment. Some employees may lack motivation despite your best efforts. If you find this to be the case, it may be time for a direct conversation. Employees may not see the impact of their work. Employees want to know their work matters. Help them see their impact by showing how their tasks contribute to the business's success, thanking them for their contributions, sharing customer feedback or success stories, and lastly, employees may not know who or how to ask for help. Employees should always feel comfortable asking for help. To ensure this, assign a point of contact for questions, make sure employees know they won't be judged for asking, and encourage teamwork and problem solving. An important part of managing and motivating employees is giving feedback, both positive and constructive feedback. Providing employee feedback may seem like an obvious action when there are problems, but it is equally essential when your business is running smoothly. Here, we will discuss tips for communicating your feedback to employees, as well as key reasons for providing feedback. First, Managers and business owners should provide clear, specific, and actionable feedback. Feedback should help employees improve and reinforce good behavior. Instead of saying, "You need to do better," try specific. "You missed the deadline on the report. Let's find a way to manage your workload better." Actionable. "Next time, check in with me if you're running behind so we can adjust." When providing positive feedback, keep in mind that employees need to feel appreciated. Recognize good work both privately and in front of others. Public praise boosts confidence and morale. Private recognition can feel more personal and meaningful. Even small acknowledgments like a simple "I appreciate your help" can go a long way. For both positive and constructive feedback, try to provide praise and feedback right away, close to the moment it happens if possible. Aim to be specific rather than generic. While a well-placed "good job" can be useful, it's more impactful to give specifics. It shows you put more thought into it and helps employees believe it's genuine. For example, "I noticed that you've spent extra time this week helping new customers. I appreciate that because it means the customers are more likely to come back, and you're showing other employees how to excel at their jobs." You may need to provide constructive feedback in a variety of situations. If an employee is having a performance issue, it's important to address it quickly, clearly, and privately. Here are some tips to approach the conversation. Provide constructive feedback in private. No one wants to be criticized in front of others. Have the conversation quickly after the incident. Don't wait for a performance review a month later to raise the issue. Stay calm and professional. Be respectful. Focus on the behavior, not the person. Offer solutions instead of just criticism. Be very specific. Identify the behavior and the time period. For example, instead of "You've had a bad attitude," try "I noticed that you've been abrupt with customers during the checkout process this week." Identify the issue, give the employee a chance to clarify, and explain next steps or consequences. Example: "I noticed you were late twice this week. Will you tell me more about what's going on? Let's discuss what's causing the delay and find a solution." Our next topic is difficult conversations and performance issues. Even with the best intentions, you will inevitably face conflict and challenging situations that require more consequences and corrections than you can provide in a single conversation. You'll want to follow a progressive discipline model, which should be provided in your employee handbook. The goal is not punishment, it's to help the employee get back on track and correct any issues. As you're providing this feedback, also include ways they can realistically improve. Often it follows these steps: verbal warning or warnings, written warning or warnings, performance improvement plans or a PIP, a formal document that explains how an employee needs to improve, the time period for making these improvements, and what happens if they cannot meet the performance goals. Termination, firing an employee. As a last resort, it may be time for an employee to leave your business, which is often the best course of action for everyone involved. See the hiring and firing session for more specific steps and guidance. We've covered the basics of how to get an employee started at your business and manage their behavior. The goal, though, is to go beyond managing the basics. It's in your best interest to develop a team of people who are engaged and motivated in their jobs. We've discussed how to do a good job managing employees. Now we'll talk about how to do a great job managing employees and how to build a workplace where your team will thrive. Keeping employees engaged and motivated. A happy, motivated team is the heart of a successful small business. When employees feel valued and supported, they work harder, stay longer, and contribute more to the business. Small businesses may not have big budgets for perks, but sometimes smaller businesses can be more flexible and creative with employee rewards. A positive work environment, fair treatment, and thoughtful leadership go a long way in keeping employees engaged. Let's discuss some strategies for motivating employees. First, recognizing and rewarding employees. People like to know their work matters. Recognition doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes it's a sincere thank you that's enough. Consider ways to celebrate achievements, such as a handwritten note or shout out in a team meeting, a small bonus, gift card, or extra break, and team celebrations for milestones. Consistency matters. If you only recognize one or two employees while overlooking others, it can hurt morale. Make recognition a regular part of your management style. The next strategy is providing autonomy and ownership. Employees feel more engaged when they have control over their work. Avoid micromanaging, trusting your team to take ownership of their tasks. Ways to foster autonomy include letting employees decide how to approach their work, encouraging employees to come up with solutions instead of just following instructions, and giving employees responsibilities beyond their job description to help them grow. When employees feel responsible for their results, they will take more pride in their work. Now let's look at retention strategies. First, retention interviews or stay interviews. Recently, a new approach called retention interviews has become popular in the workplace. It's similar to an exit interview that we discussed in the hiring and firing session. However, instead of waiting until an employee leaves, this approach is proactive and aims to keep current employees. Schedule these in advance and tell your employees what to expect so they're not nervous and have a chance to consider their responses. Here are some ideas for what to ask in a retention interview. What do you enjoy most about your job? What challenges do you face? What would make your experience better? Stay interviews help fix problems before they lead to turnover. They also show employees that their opinions matter, making them more likely to stay. It's also important to watch for early signs of disengagement, such as reduced effort or enthusiasm, more frequent absences or lateness, withdrawal from team interactions, rudeness or less patience for customers and coworkers. Addressing these issues early can prevent losing a great employee. Last up, keeping employees engaged and motivated. Let's discuss the important aspects of employee well-being. Employees play a vital role in the success of your business. When they feel supported, respected, and given room to grow, they're likely to stay engaged and perform at their best. In this section, we'll cover practical ways to promote well-being, reduce burnout, and create a positive work environment. Whether it's checking in on job satisfaction or investing in employee development, these strategies can help you build a stronger and more sustainable team. We'll start with job satisfaction. As we discussed in the beginning of this session, employee job satisfaction has a direct impact on your business. If you want to know whether your employees are satisfied, there are multiple ways to find out. First, simply ask them periodically. It can be informal and spontaneous. In larger businesses, you could consider sending an employee satisfaction survey that they could complete anonymously. Your employees are the experts on their employee experience. If you create a culture of trust and psychological safety, they're more likely to be honest about what they need and want to stay in their jobs. Next, managing burnout and stress. Overworked employees become less productive and are more likely to leave. Help manage stress by encouraging regular breaks and reasonable work hours, checking in on workload and adjusting tasks as needed, leading by example. If you never take breaks, employees may feel guilty doing so. Another aspect of well-being is withdrawal behavior. When employees feel disengaged, they might show signs of arriving late, missing deadlines, or avoiding teamwork. If you notice these behaviors, check in early and see what's wrong before it leads to a bigger problem. A simple, "I've noticed you seem to be a little off lately. Is there anything I can do to help?" can open up a door to a helpful conversation. Next, we'll discuss work-life balance initiatives. Supporting work-life balance isn't just good for employees. It benefits your business by reducing burnout and turnover. Even small businesses can create a culture that values work and life equally by offering flexible scheduling when possible, respecting personal time, avoiding after-hours calls or emails unless it's urgent, encouraging employees to take time off when needed. When employees feel their time is respected, they are more committed during work hours. It also provides uninterrupted time away from work so they can recharge and focus on their personal lives. Also, falling within employee well-being is the practice of regular performance reviews. To set everyone up for success, you should have regular performance reviews with your employees. These can occur yearly, monthly, quarterly, or at another interval that works for you and your team. Whatever schedule and format you decide on for your business, be consistent and stick with it. Next is employee development and growth. Most employees, especially your top performers, will appreciate opportunities to learn, grow, and advance in the organization. Even in small business, employees should be able to see a future with your organization. Developing your employees has several benefits. It keeps them engaged, makes them more likely to stay, and it could help shift some of the high-level work so that everyone's workload feels more sustainable. Here are some things to consider. What areas of your business could benefit from having more help? Consider each employee's skills and aspirations. Ask each person about their goals. Make a list of ways you can help employees grow and learn. A few examples include creating a list of online training options, providing funds for leadership training, facilitating finding a mentor, allowing work time to build new skills, encouraging shadowing or cross-training, and offering new responsibilities or leadership roles. When employees learn and grow, they bring new ideas and improvements to your business. They also are more likely to feel invested in the business and help you achieve your goals. Now we'll discuss rock stars and rising stars. Often employers will select top performers for management roles, but not every great employee wants to be a manager. Some employees, or rock stars, thrive in their current role and prefer to keep growing within them. Others, rising stars, are eager to take on leadership positions. Understanding these differences helps prevent pushing employees into roles they don't want or aren't suited for. Offer growth opportunities that match each person's strengths and interests. Organizational citizenship behaviors are another aspect of employee well-being. In addition to directly asking your employees about their job satisfaction, there are other indicators you can use. Great employees often go above and beyond, helping coworkers, solving problems, and improving systems. It could be things like refilling the coffee maker, taking a shift for a colleague, or offering to help with things beyond their normal job duty. Recognize and reward these contributions to encourage a culture of teamwork and initiative. Lastly, we'll discuss employee assistance programs, EAPs. An employee assistance program, also known as an EAP, is a free, company-provided service that helps employees with issues related to stress, medical issues, family life, and financial challenges. Most small businesses will not have an EAP in-house, but you can still support employees by offering resources for mental health or financial advice, being flexible when employees face personal challenges, creating a supportive environment where employees feel comfortable seeking help, or outsourcing your EAP process to an outside company. A motivated team doesn't just work harder, they stay longer and care more about the business. By creating a positive, supportive workplace, you can help both your employees and your business thrive. The top 10 do's and don'ts. The top 10 do's. 1. Do have a welcome plan for new employees. 2. Do communicate clearly with your employees. 3. Do have regular check-ins with employees. 4. Do keep calm and professional if you need to have a difficult conversation with an employee. 5. Do consider how to retain and develop your employees. 6. Do identify core values for your business and use them to guide your workplace culture. 7. Do use employee feedback to continue improving. 8. Do give both positive and constructive feedback right away. 9. Do create a work environment of psychological safety. 10. Do give employees all the tools, knowledge, and resources to be successful. The top 10 don'ts. 1. Don't assume employees can read your mind. 2. Don't take it personally if an employee doesn't work out. 3. Don't give vague instructions. 4. Don't set unrealistic expectations. 5. Don't lose your temper when giving constructive feedback. 6. Don't wait until the last minute to decide how to onboard a new employee. 7. Don't underestimate the value of building a team that is inclusive and representative of your community and customers. 8. Don't ignore employees' suggestions for how to make improvements. 9. Don't criticize employees in front of others. And 10. Don't forget to show appreciation and tell your employees thank you. Congratulations, you've just completed this session on managing and motivating employees. Remember, strong employee management doesn't just solve problems, it creates a work environment where people feel supported, valued, and motivated to do their best. As you put these strategies into practice, you'll not only build an engaged team, but also a stronger, more resilient business. For additional resources, visit the MOBI Resource Documents page in the Resources and Tools section of the MOBI website. If you're taking this session as a part of a course, don't forget to log in and take the quiz for this session. Feel free to pause now and review or download any resources from this session online, or continue to the next session for more information. Good luck.